Welcome everyone to AAUW Conversation and Connection. I am Sharon Watson Hamilton. AAUW stands for the Association of University Women, which is a long title, but we're all inclusive and all about equity and education. In particular, young girls, but young men, everything, re-entry women into our local Sierra College. We are coming from Auburn, California. So that's kind of what this show is, to let the community know about us. We learn about the community. I have different guests, whether they're from inside AAUW or not. Our biggest issue that I'm going to bring up right now is our fundraiser for scholarships, which is the Trivia Bee. This is our 12th Trivia Bee, 15th year doing it because we had 3 years of COVID in there where we didn't do it. But and it's where we get groups of people from the city, groups of 3, and they do a trivia team, kind of like Jeopardy, against each other or about each other. And the theme this year is Creatures Big and Small. The event is, I know it's kind of cute, and the event is March 28th. It's a Saturday. You can still get tickets to attend from Roper's Jewelry, or you can go to aauw.california, let's see, what is it? Auburn, California, aauw.net. I believe that's our branch website. You can always just plug in AAUW Auburn, California, and it'll take you probably to our website where you can purchase tickets. We'd love to have you all come. So that's my plug. Then today, I've had many folks tell me about this individual, and I need to have her on the show. And the reason I'm having her on the show, she's from the League of Women Voters, and coming up is our primary election here in California on June 2nd. Other parts of the country have already started, so we'll find out how important all that is. So with that, I am going to welcome Karen. Karen, say your last name for me.
Enghusen.
Enghusen. And you told me it was Danish.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So I'm just calling her Karen.
Perfectly fine.
But
In my work life for many years, I was Mrs. E. So
Mrs.
it's perfectly
E.
fine.
Oh, I like that. I like that, Mrs. E. And you can't give anybody an E grade. It's got to be better than that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. So Karen, I usually start everything out with, let's learn a little bit about you, where you were raised, what your career path was, how you got today involved in League of Women Voters.
Well, for the first 14 years, I lived in the Bay Area in what was then very rural Fairfax.
Oh,
Our neighbors had horses and goats.
oh my.
We moved to Tahoe City for my sister's allergies.
Okay.
And that's when there were still shoulder seasons at Tahoe.
Okay.
When you could shoot a cannon down the main drag and not hit anybody. Lived there for 15 years.
Okay.
Went
So
to,
you're a teenage. That's
Yeah,
what,
I
you
went
went to
to-
high school?
I graduated, proud graduate of Tahoe Lake Elementary and Tahoe Truckee High School.
Okay.
All 96 of us in that graduating class. And I went to UCSB.
Okay.
There
Santa
were
Barbara.
3 of us that went down there we wanted something different.
Mhm.
And I came back to Tahoe and I got married and built a house and we had our first child and we ended up moving to Plumas County, Chester, Lake Almanor.
Oh yeah. I love that area.
Another more rural,
Right.
touristy kind of place. My then husband was a builder and there was more work up there. So had another child and ended up, when construction sort of tanked a bit, we came down in 1986.
Okay, I was going to say the 80s. Okay.
Yeah, and when moved to the first place we could find to rent a house, because we hadn't sold our other house yet, was in Rockland. We started in Grass Valley and worked our way down, and there was nothing to rent at that time. And at that time, Rockland ended at the top of the hill. There was no Stanford Ranch.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And I worked as a teacher's aide and was going to school to get my credential at a school in Dry Creek, when Dry Creek was a school district.
I was going to say Dry Creek.
And every grade but kindergarten was a combination class. I would think there was 250 kids in the whole school. It was very tiny. We finally got our home sold and we were able to buy a place in Auburn because my ex is from a farming background and wanted horses. So that's where we could find a place where we could have horses for our kids. And I went to school for this Auburn Union School District, and I taught for 25 years. When I retired, I was a pretty busy person. I was the union president, and
Right.
my kids were kind of independent on their own by then.
Right.
So I decided I needed something to do when I retired. So I did a couple of terms with Placer Grand Jury.
Oh yeah, I did that too.
Oh.
Yep.
You know, and that's a way to really learn a lot about your local government and what's going on.
And some things you don't want to learn.
There's that
I'm
too.
just saying.
For having been spent most of my life as an adult in Placer County, I was dumbfounded to learn some of the things I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I urge everybody, if you have the time, it is a very time-intensive
It is.
period, but it's a wonderful way to get involved in your community.
Mm-hmm.
And after I did that, I went to an information meeting at some member's home
Okay.
about the League of Women Voters, and I was struck by how it kind of aligned with what I started doing, was learning about government and how to help people get more involved in their local government, because that's so important.
Yeah.
That when you have to make a decision like about voting, that you have the information that you need and you know where to get that information, and that it's quality information and accurate. So we're a fairly small group, and I worked my way up because we are small pretty quickly, and then I was membership for a bit, and then I became president. And our goal is to help create an informed, active citizenry who participates in their government.
Mm-hmm.
We're very fortunate in Placer County in that so many people vote. Our voting percentage is one among the very highest in the state.
And our, Ronco Ryan, and I mean, it can't say enough about
Ryan is
Yes,
is a gem.
Yes, yes.
And he works so hard to make it so accessible
Mhm.
to be able to be an informed voter.
Mm-hmm.
And so we work closely with the Office of the Registrar. For example, they not too long ago just had a how to be a candidate information day.
Oh, yeah,
And they
yeah.
recorded it, and if you're interested, you should definitely look at it, because they had current office holders, past office holders who, shared their personal experiences and what you have to be able to anticipate and expect.
Yeah.
And some of it is from the newbies, it's very eye-opening
Right.
what all is
A
involved.
little scary too,
Very
right?
scary.
Yeah.
And if people are interested, at the end, if you've not yet enrolled in the Placer County electronic newsletter that comes out like once a month or so,
Okay.
at the very end, there's always a list of offices that they're not even something that you have to be elected to, that you can apply, and basically, because not very many people apply, you
Right.
get appointed to it. And
And
they're like Max.
and what's that called again?
The Placer County's electronic newsletter. If you go to the Placer County Supervisor's webpage, you'll find information about how to sign up for it.
Newsletter. Okay.
And it's things that are going on in town and in the county. There's always a photograph that's been submitted,
Okay.
but it's also what what your government is doing,
Mhm.
and how you could get involved in fire commissions or cemetery boards, things
Right.
like that, where you just learn a little snippet about what's going on, but you can have an impact.
Yeah.
And you can inform your friends.
I went and heard part of the speaker series. I don't know if I have to do a disclaimer or not, but anyway, I saw Pete Buttigieg speak, and that's my opinion. If it's it's not anyway, but the very same thing you're saying. You've got to learn. He gets asked, "What can I do to make a difference? What can I do?" The really smartest answer is go local. That's where you have the greatest impact. You need, and it's where I'm sorry, this is a disclosure on me. it's where I really have the least information. Like judges, school board members, things that impact us directly at that level, and how if we don't seek it out, it sometimes isn't easy to get to. But I think it's important to do that, and you're so right at that juncture, right?
And if they, thanks to or because of, however we want to view it, COVID, so many things are recorded, and you can catch up if you're not able to attend a school board meeting or something.
Right.
You can watch, and you can fast forward through some of the stuff you
Right.
don't want to listen to. But,
Right.
But that's where you find out these entities spend a lot of your taxpayer money
Right.
and have huge impact. And they, even though it might not be affect you directly, it's your community
Yeah.
that is affected. And read their agendas
Mhm.
and feel free to ask questions. I know as a union member, I made a point to read the school board's agenda and made sure to ask a question about something that was at the very end.
And
So they knew I was reading
the
thing.
whole thing. That's so cute.
Because and much business, because agendas tend to be long and something controversial topics take a long time.
Right.
Excuse me. The consent agenda, an enormous amount of stuff happens in a consent agenda, and sometimes I don't want to say it's on purpose, but it seems like they're trying to
Get you tired?
just slip something under, and it's a big thing. It's a lot of money, or it's a controversial topic, and if you don't ask them to pull it from the consent agenda, it doesn't get discussed at the meeting.
Oh, I see.
It's just one motion, and
Okay.
we accept the consent agenda and we move on.
Okay.
And so they do appointments that way. They pay their bills that way. Lots of stuff happens in consent agendas.
Okay. That we should pay attention to that we don't, or I don't anyway.
Most
of
of
the
us
time.
don't.
Yeah.
We don't
that's-
have the time.
Yeah. That's the other thing. We have other lives and interests and that kind of thing.
Pick and choose.
Yeah.
Pick and choose. You're focused on one. If you ask, and you didn't have to give a disclaimer about Buttigieg. Go see all of them.
Yeah.
How are you going to make a decision
Yeah.
if you don't talk to these
Yeah.
people?
I like Mike Pence too. I mean, I don't know. It's my personal feeling. He saved us. My personal opinion again.
Well, the last election that we did a candidate information night, you might think of it like kind of like speed dating.
Yeah.
We had all of the supervisors. There were 3 open seats, and there was like 10 people had filed. 8 of them responded. So we hired a hall, had a moderator at each table that we trained, and the candidates spoke for a few moments, and then they each one sat at a table with citizens.
I did that. It was with the hip hop gal.
Yes, we did that. I
And
attended
that was,
that.
and maybe that's where we saw each other. I don't know, but I loved that. They moved around. We stayed, and
And
the
they
candidates
moved.
moved.
And that is everybody. We did a survey after.
Yeah.
Everybody loved that
I
because
know.
they don't ever get a chance to. They get talked at.
Right.
You don't
right.
get to talk to
And
somebody.
I think the candidates, I was very impressed with all of them that showed up, and the young people. It was geared more towards young people at that particular event. Just pretty good dynamics, Karen. Wow.
We were surprised because we had some prepared questions ahead of time for the
Right.
moderators in case there was dead air. Never had to use them.
Wow.
People were really interested.
Yeah.
They really wanted down to earth information from a personal level.
Right. Are we going to do that again?
Yes.
Let's fast forward to. Really, we want to talk about June 2nd. Are we done with your story?
Yeah.
Where are you now? You're in Rockland?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. And enjoying everything that you do, or
Mhm.
overwhelmed some days, I'm sure. It's just fabulous that people, several come to mind, and I will shout out to Susan Roughgarden. She works very hard at a very focused level of getting people to learn about local and get engaged, just like you're talking. You both just huge kudos on that. sometimes I wish I had more energy, but
You have to have the husband what you have.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, so we're coming up to the let's see, do we want to talk dates? No. Primary, June 2nd. It's a presidential primary, or it's just a gubernatorial?
It is a gubernatorial.
primary. Right, the other one doesn't come till 28.
28.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And there are no propositions on this particular ballot. The legislature didn't put forth anything for us to consider.
Okay.
The ones that citizens and businesses want to voters to weigh in on happen at the presidential, the general elections.
Okay.
But or not the president, the general election.
Okay.
And there will be many on that.
On the November. Okay.
The primary. Some political parties limit that you can only vote if you are registered in that particular party.
Okay.
And so I know Ronco has been sending out the postcard. This is how you're registered. Is this accurate?
Right.
If you have not yet got that, you can go to Vote 411, and it will tell you how you are registered. And our website, lwvplacerco.org, has a button for Vote 411. And once everybody has been certified, we urge candidates to submit information to Vote 411 so people can read in the candidate's own words.
Okay.
We don't censor it in any way, what their positions are, so you can get some information there. The state puts out a voter guide, and the county puts out a voter guide, where candidates submit statements. Not all do, but you can read what the candidate has said. If there were propositions, it's in its entirety. It's on there, which can be incredibly wordy. But Vote 411 will tell you if you're registered and how you are registered, and if that's not accurate, because in California you can register up to the day of voting.
Right.
But you could easily do it now online. It's very simple process.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go to Rockland or here in Auburn to register. If you are a California driver, you can do it when you renew your driver's license.
I think they ask that.
Yeah,
They usually ask that.
The registrar's office makes a point of all the high schools that will permit it to let the registrar's office have some volunteers that go in and pre-register 16-year-olds at the high school.
Okay.
So that the instant you turn 18, you get your information. I know one grandson happened, his birthday is September and the election is in November, and by George, he got his postcard that this is how you registered. He got his information pamphlet, and he got his ballot.
Wow.
So they're really on that. And again, it's hats off to Ryan Ronco and his crew, because they really want everybody who is eligible to be able to vote.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're very transparent. I don't like that word. I just get tired of it.
It gets overdone.
Yeah, but really, you can find out so much from our elections. It's just a superb county to be in, and I couldn't be more proud. So, okay, let's talk about what is. Do you know? Can things change between now and then? Can there be more candidates? Can they be? What's the deadline?
Okay, well, that's iffy, because I just looked yesterday. The some offices that don't have, for example, what do you call it when there's more than one person vote running? If there's just one person, they extend the deadline a bit.
Okay, in case somebody wants to jump in. Okay, that makes sense.
And you can see it on the county's office website. It has. You go to the candidates information page, and it's all the offices that are going to be open. You can see who has been.
It's unopposed is the word.
Right. Thank you. Yeah. Certified, and whether it's eligible to be extended, whether it has been extended. So that's why we are getting ready to start having some of those information. But we can't do that till we know everybody
Is
is
done, yeah.
registered or
But right now we
filed.
have a governor's race.
Yeah,
And
it's all state races.
Yeah,
And there's a couple of judges that
okay.
are run, but most of them I looked, they were unopposed. So I don't know if they're going to. I assume they extend that.
I know, but judges oftentimes are not opposed. I mean, they're kind of more appointed than anything. But the process is lengthy. I get that. But anyway, it's the governor's race. It's our state senate or
Not our national senate, our state senate, and our representatives are on the ballot. Representatives are in the state. It's just like in the federal government every couple of years. And our federal representatives are on the ballot, because they are every 2 years.
Okay.
Um,
No senators though.
no.
Okay. All right.
and because of Prop 50,
Mm-hmm.
and it has been upheld in the courts, major redistricting happened.
Yeah.
And it definitely affects Placer County.
Mm-hmm.
Because where I live, they totally redid it. So we have a new district, basically, that, there's no incumbent.
Right.
So definitely need to find out who these people are.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have the opportunity to hear from some of the others, they all make decisions that impact us all. It's like when we did the supervisors. Yeah, you have your own supervisor from your own district, but those 5 people affect all of us. So
Right.
it's not a bad idea to know what there's in their head.
Right.
So get the more information you get, I don't want to overload you, but it's easier to make a decision if you have something to go by. If you're just sticking a dart on the wall is kind of tricky.
Yeah. I mean, even if you just read a couple sentences about each one, at least you can have maybe a baby feel for that. So, but right now the governor's race, if I understand it correctly, and we are neither of us representing AAUW or League of Women Voters, we can't back a candidate. We're just backing the what did Susan Ruffgarden used to do? The issues, the philosophies, we can embrace and find some like-mindedness. I guess I can put it that way. I don't know if that's safe or not. I guess it is. But anyway, I digress. So we have, if I understood it correct, we have 8 candidates for governor. Or
I've lost track.
Well, I know there's 2 Republicans, and I believe there's 7 or 8 Democrats.
There's multiple Democrats.
Yeah.
And this will winnow it down because California has the top 2 runout. So it could be 2 Democrats, it could be 2 Republicans,
Right.
it could be one of each.
Right.
Which makes it a very interesting race.
Right. Right.
And that's why I'm sure there'll be lots of discussion about, are all of these viable candidates? If they are not, will they be pressured to withdraw to make it more likely that this scenario happens or that scenario?
I think they already are being a little pressured. I've read some articles that, anyway.
Well,
we'll see.
The expenditures for elections are horrendous, and that's one of the positions, one of the issues that the league is very strong on, to get the money, this corporate money, out of elections.
Yeah.
They're just buying elections.
Yeah.
And that is not democracy.
Right. Right. And yet most people don't have enough money on their own. So you've got to go out and solicit, and if the big money's there, it's hard to say no to, isn't it?
And that's why they would like either public financing or just a general limit, because
a general limit sounds good to me.
Some of the most expensive races, you just look at the tiny little areas that they're affected and how many millions of dollars are expended. But look what we could do with that money.
I know. I was even, again, this sidebar has nothing to do with the elections, but I was just reading the paper this morning, and they're building a new track, or they're building a new this. Everything is millions and millions. It's after a while, I'm desensitized to it. It's $1 billion. Okay. So, it's just, oh my gosh, I hear you on that. So, all right. So we have governor, and we have state representatives and state senators.
And then we have
the federal representatives, and that's where our redistricting comes into
Huge.
play.
Huge.
And that I know it. I think one district became 3 or partial 3s, and
That's
yeah,
us.
yeah, that's exactly it. Placer County is so involved in that, and I don't know. It's interesting to see where the pieces are starting to fall out on that, and we'll be interested to see where that goes.
And again, to get involved, I would, Proposition 50 limited the time for this redistricting effort.
Yeah.
So there will be another redistricting. And I know the league was very actively involved in the Citizens Commission to do the redistricting as opposed to the politicians doing it.
Right.
So if you get a chance and want to apply to be on that committee,
Yeah.
it's a lottery pretty much. There's an application you fill out online, and they pick. The scenario is on the web page and on the application who gets to pick, but half of them are by lottery.
Yeah.
And last time, the league, I personally was very miffed. The most northerly representative in California was from Marin County. There's a whole lot of California that's north of Marin County.
Yeah.
And we, bless their hearts, one was from down in the valley, because we had them on a couple of programs to tell people about the redistricting, and
Right.
they could explain what they were doing. But did nobody up from up there apply?
Yeah.
I realize the luck of the draw, but really,
Yeah.
you know. So this is a way you can impact the county when the county redoes its charter.
Yeah.
There's another way that citizens can get involved.
Get involved. Yeah. And cities too, if they change their city chart. We don't have a whole lot more time. I know there's so much more. Will we see more from you and us and the AAUW and the league on these roundtable discussions? I found them fascinating. That would be so good. I don't suspect that we can get it at the governor's level, but we can certainly get it at our supervisors up this election.
There are a couple. District 5.
So
One is unopposed. I think there's 3,
okay. There.
2 or 3. But what as soon as we know who all's running,
Right.
We will
Get it out there.
put out that there are actually 3 or 4 leagues right now working to get our federal representative to have a forum.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That we tried last time and it didn't work out, but we're really pushing it this time. We thought we'd start early, and
Right.
I think that there's a little more impetus from those candidates now because they are new districts
Right.
to get their public face out there.
Right.
And that would be open to we're toying whether it's going to be open to the public or it's going to be
Invitation.
closed and broadcast by
Okay.
on YouTube TV or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because
we have Phil.
yeah,
We have Phil.
Phil is wonderful because he's done our pro cons before, which we will be doing
Yeah.
for the general
General
election. Again, when you do a pro con on the propositions, it's just if you vote yes, this is what happens. If you vote no, this is what happened. These are the people and entities that are in support or opposed to it, and this is how much money is being spent.
Yeah.
And oftentimes that's the biggest aha that people have.
The
And
money.
some of these organizations go by these cute little names like Friends of the Forest and
Yeah.
things like that. Then you find out it's actually timber companies
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we just present the information and we tell you where to go to get more.
That's
and
so
let-
important.
Put it on the people because this is how you empower folks
Yeah.
is to just let them do their own thing.
We have to wrap up. I think I could listen to you all day. But before we leave, I want you to give us one more place where we can go to your website. Do you have that off the top of your head better than I had?
Yep,
yours?
it's lwvplacerco.org.
And lots of information.
Lots
on
of
that.
information.
Okay. Anything else you want to share with anyone that's listening to us today? Besides what we already have.
Tomorrow on the celebrity chefs.
Oh, that's right.
We are going to be there. Rosie and I are doing soup, but there's
Okay.
all kinds of wonderful stuff will be there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys are there.
Yeah, we are. I think we're doing desserts or something. I
Up
don't know
at
for
the
sure.
Placer County Fairgrounds.
Yep. Yeah, it's a fun event, and it's really a networking of organizations and fundraisers, and it's a
Oh, not
fun
Placer
event.
County, it's Gold Country Fairgrounds.
Yes, but I can go by through both names. Well, Karen, I love it. What's the last day for people to register? I mean, I know they can register up to the day they vote, but for the primary of June 2nd, what do you know the date offhand? The last day to register?
To get your ballot mailed,
Yeah.
that I don't have off the top of my head, but I'm
Okay.
sure I know it's on the county website.
Okay. All right.
But everybody gets a ballot mailed if you are registered.
Yeah.
And if you don't get your ballot, contact the county.
Yeah. Or if you've moved or something, we'll find you. I guess
They will find you.
They will find you. So I thank you so much. I'm excited. I'm thinking, okay, what can I volunteer for?
Good for you. That's what we like to hear. Thank
Well, I have
you.
been on the grand jury, and I was an elected official unopposed. That's the reason I won, I think. But on the fire district board years ago. But boards are important, and districts are important. So and they're a good way to learn more about what's going on. So, well, I appreciate you. People, I appreciate you. Spring is here early. Happy spring, early spring. Happy late winter, I guess. But take care of one another. That's important. Be sure you vote June 2nd. Take care of one another.